Welcome everybody. I'm a music nerd here, and you know, I don't have my usual camera set up, so I'm just kind of recording this on my phone. But yeah, if you haven't already heard, DMX has passed away at the age of 50, and I really didn't want to make this video, because it's a sad day for hip hop. I haven't had a chance to talk about DMX on this channel yet, but he was one of my favorite rappers of all time. Um, when he came out, it was so different than anything anybody had ever seen at the time. And when I was a kid, you know, I remember going on BET and watching Rough Riders Anthem, the music video, and I thought, man, that's the coolest guy I ever seen. That's all these people on ninja bikes, and the beat, and DMX has certain presence and delivery about himself. It was raw, it was gritty, it was street, it was authentic. At the time, what was dominating hip hop was P Diddy and the Bad Boy shiny suit thing, and Jay-Z was coming on top, and DMX was just totally different from anything that I had ever seen before. And he's a one of a kind artist. There will never be another DMX ever. Like, you cannot recreate that magic that he had. Like, he was a guy that wasn't afraid to talk about his pain, wasn't afraid to talk about, demons in his life. What you saw is what you got with DMX. He wasn't putting on a front. And I think that's why so many people connected to him, because, he was real. Everything that he said in his life, he was fucking real, 100%. And, certain hip hop artists like Snoop and Busta Rhymes and Missy Elliott, Redman, like these kind of like unique figures in hip hop, we really have to appreciate them, because we're never gonna see anything like, a guy like DMX again. I mean, there have been people who have tried to copy certain rappers' styles and flows and have gotten a career off of it. And anybody who remotely try to copy DMX, you're gonna get banished. Like, people, that's how much love people have DMX. It's like, no, that's his style, and you're biting. Like, it's clear. That's why, his whole delivery, just people just fucked with it. And for a guy like that to, like, right out of the gate, his first album went number one, and then 4 or 5 albums after that still went number one. I mean, nobody had ever done that before in hip hop. Very rare occasion in music that you can say that an artist, their first few albums just go number one like that. But that's how much he connected with people. And you notice that a lot of these figures that kind of go through like a downward spiral, and they get clowned in the media, and we get post memes on them, and we all that stuff. We take advantage when at their most low. But even with all the troubles that DMX had gone through, all the the arrests, and the drug addiction, people still had a certain level of respect for DMX. Like, people did not clown him, because he probably fuck you up, and B, he did a lot for the genre. Maybe he wasn't a lyricist. He wasn't, the most profound, I guess you could say, the most socially conscious. But, one thing I would respect about DMX is that he's a one of one. He just gave it to you like, just told you how he felt. about things, and I think a lot of people appreciated that. It was definitely different um, than a lot of what other rappers are doing. Um, and as much as he talked about the dark, gritty tales, he had a lot of great party anthems. I mean, "Party Up" is, I mean, it's been, if you play it in a club today, it's gonna set the club on fire, figuratively. Like, that is one of the great party joints of all time. I mean, and you have to understand that um, that whole Rough Riders collective, that wasn't just like a little like trend that just came and went. Like, that was a movement that birthed some of the most influential hip hop creatives ever. Like Swiss Beats, who is one of the greatest producers of all time, came from that Rough Riders movement. Eve, who is very well known in the media, she had her own TV show. She had tons of success herself in her solo work. One of the most prominent female rappers ever came from the Rough Riders movement. The Rough Riders DMX sound was so influential that even the competitors like Jadakiss and Jay Z had to like say, all right, we gotta step our game up because this DMX guy, is beating us. He's like out of here. And he had a huge influence on guys like 50 Cent. You know, um, and other rappers in the 2000s. So DMX, his whole aesthetic, um, was it was something that everybody could love. Like the streets could love it, but it can be commercial. And you just don't see that with a lot of artists, especially in hip hop. Like the corner, the underground, the street, and the commercial, and the college audience. I mean you know that's just talent, man. That's just pure talent. And you can even make a case that DMX was the first guy to do ad libs in hip hop. With the, what? Come on, like nobody. I was remember listening to Money Cash Hose way back in the day on the Hard Knock Life album. I was like, who the hell is this? This guy who's just like, he just came on and it's just like, just totally took over the song. I mean, to do that in a Jay-Z song, and to not only be like one of your first guest appearances on a mainstream album, but to just like come in like a hurricane and just like, kind of steal that moment. It was, it was incredible. So yeah, you definitely have to get DMX for kind of doing the ad libs that we now hear today. Um, yeah, it's sad, because he did a lot for hip hop, and not just that, having a movie career as well. Even those Steven Seagal movies that are not the best, but Cradle to the Grave is a cult classic, um, and Belly as well. Yeah. So I mean, DMX, he's gonna be missed, man, and you know, in terms of like hip hop icons, he's definitely up there. Um, when I don't, you know, I don't know how the memorial service is gonna be, but it's gonna be a lot of like love. I mean, you saw it when he was in the hospital and people were standing outside and you know, just really appreciate what he did. And he hadn't put out music in a while, and I kind of wish that he was, you know, he wasn't forgotten, but I kind of wish that he kind of received more praise a little bit more towards the end of his life. I mean, he did the versus thing, and people showed love for him from that, but I would love for him to be on more verses, maybe do some stuff with newer artists. Um, but he was going through his own addictions and stuff, so he couldn't really, I don't know, he probably wasn't available for that, but um, you know, yeah, it's sad. Such a talented guy, such an influential figure. Even through all that, a lot of people, him being able to have the courage to show his pain, and I know a lot of people say that good art is come from bad life experiences, but to take that courage and to tell us, hey man, this is what I'm going through, and you can get through it too. It's also very inspiring. Um, yeah, I want to do a video essay, more extensive video essay on DMX and his influence on hip hop. So that will be coming soon. But this here is just kind of like a little video that I wanted to show my appreciation for DMX, and yeah, prayers to his family, um, you know, all the DMX fans out there. Um, you know, just know that he appreciates all the love, and he's yeah, it's I'm rambling, but it just sucks because you know just never gonna recreate that type of magic again. And but hey, I'm playing Rough Riders Anthem, party up, where the hood at, all that stuff, uh, for the rest of eternity. So rest in power, DMX, rest easy, um, and that's it. So until next time, guys, peace.